If you are over 60, your doctor has probably told you to eat smaller meals more often. Maybe you've been doing that for years. And maybe, despite doing everything right, you still feel tired, inflamed, and carrying weight you cannot seem to shake. What if the advice was backwards? What if eating less often, not less food, was the missing piece? Today, Dr. Leonard Brooks is going to walk you through exactly what happens inside your body, hour by hour, when you give it the rest it has been begging for since you were young. This isn't extreme. This isn't dangerous. This is biology. And after 60, it may be the most important thing you ever learn about your own body. Let's start the clock. Think about your neighborhood. Every single day, delivery trucks roll through, morning, noon, and night. Packages piling up on the porch. No one has time to sort them, organize them, or throw out the damaged ones. The garage is overflowing. The gutters need cleaning. The roof has a slow leak nobody's fixed in years. That's your body after decades of 3 meals a day, plus snacks. The deliveries never stopped. And the maintenance crew, the one responsible for keeping your cells young, your joints comfortable, your memory sharp, never got a chance to do their job. Now imagine one day you stop the deliveries, the trucks stop coming, and for the first time in years, the maintenance crew walks out of the garage. They get to work. They clean. They repair. They rebuild. Dr. Leonard Brooks has spent his career studying how the aging body responds to food and fasting, and what he has found is both simple and profound. The older you are, the more your body needs this repair window, and the less time it's been getting it. Let's walk through what happens, hour by hour, when you finally give it that window. The clock starts the moment you finish your one meal of the day. In these first 4 hours, your body is hard at work. Your stomach is breaking down the proteins you ate into amino acids. The carbohydrates are being converted to glucose and released into your bloodstream. Your pancreas, which after 60 is working harder than it used to, releases insulin to manage that glucose. Here is what Dr. Leonard Brooks needs you to understand about insulin, because this changes everything. Insulin is a storage hormone. When insulin is in your blood, which after a meal it always is, your body cannot burn fat, not 1 ounce. The fat cells are padlocked shut. And here's the part nobody tells seniors. After 60, your cells become less sensitive to insulin. It takes more insulin to do the same job it did at 35. More insulin means more fat storage, more inflammation, more fatigue. This is not a character flaw. This is biology. And the single most powerful way to restore your insulin sensitivity, more powerful than any medication, is time spent without food. During these first 4 hours, your body uses the glucose from your meal. Excess gets stored in the liver and muscles as glycogen, your body's emergency cash reserve. You feel fine, normal digestion, but the magic hasn't started yet. Around hour 6, something shifts. The glucose from your meal is fading. Insulin starts to drop, and your brain sends out an alarm signal through a hormone called ghrelin, your hunger hormone. You feel it as a growl in your stomach, maybe some irritability, maybe a slight headache, maybe your energy dips. Most seniors feel this and immediately reach for a snack, crackers, fruit, a small sandwich. And Dr. Leonard Brooks completely understands why. For decades you have been told, keep your blood sugar stable. Don't let it drop. Eat every few hours. But here is the truth that modern metabolic research has revealed. That dip you feel around hour 6 or 8 isn't your blood sugar crashing. It's your body switching fuel systems. Think of it like a hybrid car that has only ever run on gasoline. The electric motor is there. It works perfectly, but the car has never been allowed to use it. When the gas gets low, the car hesitates because it's never made this switch before. That hesitation feels uncomfortable, but it is not dangerous. It is transitional. If you stay the course, your liver steps in. It opens its glycogen reserves and releases stored glucose to keep your brain and body running smoothly. Your blood sugar doesn't crash, it stabilizes. Your body is simply learning to manage itself, something it was designed to do long before snack culture existed. 12 hours in, Dr. Leonard Brooks calls this the moment that separates aging from healthy aging. Your glycogen reserves are nearly depleted, and now your body reaches a fork in the road. In a younger, metabolically flexible body, this switch happens easily. But after 60, many people have spent so many years in constant feeding mode that their body has nearly forgotten how to make this turn. The metabolic machinery for fat burning has gotten rusty from disuse. But here is the good news, and Dr. Leonard Brooks wants you to hear this clearly. The machinery still works. It just needs to be restarted. When you reach hour 12 and you stay the course, insulin drops to its lowest level of the day. A powerful enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase activates. It unlocks your fat cells, and for the first time, possibly in a very long time, your body begins drawing real, sustained energy from your stored body fat. After 60, this moment is not just about weight, it's about metabolic rescue. Every hour you spend in this state begins to rebuild the fat-burning machinery that decades of constant eating have allowed to go dormant. Between hours 14 and 16, something remarkable happens, something that surprises almost every senior patient Dr. Leonard Brooks has worked with. The hunger disappears, not suppressed, not ignored, gone. Here's the science behind it. When your body is running on food, your energy levels look like a mountain range, peaks and valleys all day long. That 2 p.m. crash you've accepted as normal, that's a valley. The fatigue after lunch that you've blamed on getting older, that's a valley. When your body switches to fat burning, the mountain range flattens into a calm, steady plateau. Because unlike the glucose from a meal, which runs out in hours, your fat stores contain tens of thousands of calories. Even a trim, healthy senior carries enough stored fat to fuel the body for weeks. Simultaneously, your liver begins converting fatty acids into ketones. And this is where Dr. Leonard Brooks gets genuinely excited because of what ketones do to the aging brain. Your brain cannot burn fat directly. It needs either glucose or ketones. But here's what most people don't know. The aging brain responds extraordinarily well to ketones. Ketones burn cleaner than glucose. They produce less oxidative stress, the cellular rust that accelerates aging. They generate more usable energy per molecule. Researchers studying Alzheimer's and cognitive decline have found something striking. The brain regions most affected by dementia are the ones that have lost the ability to use glucose efficiently. But those same regions can still use ketones. This is why, around hour 16, seniors who fast report something they hadn't felt in years: mental clarity. Word recall improves. The mental fog that had quietly settled in lifts. Dr. Leonard Brooks says it plainly. I've had patients in their 70s tell me they felt mentally sharper during a fast than they had in a decade. That's not placebo. That's ketones feeding a starving brain. We are now at what Dr. Leonard Brooks considers the most critical window for anyone over 60. At hour 18, with insulin low and ketones rising, your cells activate a process called autophagy. In Greek, autophagy means self-eating. But what your body is eating is its own damage. Here is what is happening right now inside your cells. Over decades, damaged proteins have been accumulating. Mitochondria, the tiny power generators inside every cell, have worn out. They are producing less energy and more cellular pollution. Misfolded proteins have been building up. The same proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and other age-related conditions. Fragments of old viruses and bacteria are hiding in your cells like unwanted tenants. Autophagy builds a membrane around all of this debris, dissolves it completely, and recycles the raw material into fresh, new building blocks. Think of it as your body's internal renovation crew, the one that's been locked out of the building for 30 years of constant eating. They finally get to work. Dr. Leonard Brooks doesn't mince words here. Autophagy may be the closest thing to a biological reset that we have ever identified. For people over 60, activating this process regularly isn't optional. It's essential. This is why people who begin fasting in their 60s and 70s report skin that looks more vibrant, joints that feel less stiff in the morning, digestion that quiets down and settles, old aches that begin slowly, genuinely to fade. You are not imagining these changes. You are experiencing cellular housekeeping that your body has been desperate to perform for years. Now, here is the concern Dr. Leonard Brooks hears most from his senior patients. But doctor, I can't afford to lose muscle. I'm already worried about that. It is a completely valid concern. After 60, maintaining lean muscle mass is one of the most important factors in longevity, balance, fall prevention, and independence. Sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle, is a genuine medical concern, so the idea of fasting can feel frightening. But here's what the physiology actually shows, and it is the opposite of what most people expect. Around hour 20 of a fast, your body releases a surge of human growth hormone, HGH. Studies have shown that during fasting, HGH levels can rise by 1,300% to 2,000%. In your youth, HGH was abundant. It built your muscle, repaired your tissues, kept your metabolism fast, and your body lean. After 60, HGH production drops significantly, and this decline is one of the key drivers of muscle loss, increased body fat, and slower recovery. Fasting temporarily reverses this. HGH during a fast acts as a protective shield around your lean muscle tissue. It sends a biological signal. Burn the fat, spare the muscle. We need the muscle. Your body is not going to dismantle the architecture it needs to function. It is going to reach into its fat reserves, the energy it stored precisely for moments like this, and burn that first. The unique combination of high HGH and low insulin that occurs deep in a fast is a state almost impossible to achieve any other way. It is the metabolic environment where fat burns and muscle is preserved simultaneously. For seniors, this isn't just good news. This is a potential game changer for body composition after 60. You have arrived. 23 hours. Your body right now is in a state Dr. Leonard Brooks calls peak receptivity. Your cells are like a dry sponge, primed, open, and ready to absorb. Your insulin sensitivity is at its highest point of the day. Your gut lining, which in many seniors has been chronically inflamed for years, has had a full day to rest and recover. Your growth hormone is peaking. Your cells have taken out the trash. Now comes the most important decision of the entire 23 hours. What do you eat? Because what you put into this optimized, fasted, highly receptive system matters more, far more, than at any other time of day. Dr. Leonard Brooks breaks the ideal senior OMAD meal into 3 non-negotiable layers. Layer 1, protein first. Start with high-quality protein, eggs, salmon, chicken thighs, lean beef, Greek yogurt. After 60, your body requires more protein per pound of body weight than it did in your 30s, not less. Your muscles need those amino acids to rebuild and repair everything autophagy broke down during the fast. Aim for at least 40 to 50 grams of protein in this meal. Do not skip this. Protein is the foundation everything else is built on. Layer 2, healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, a small handful of walnuts or almonds. Since your body is already primed to use fat as fuel, adding dietary fat keeps the metabolic machinery running smoothly. It slows the absorption of the meal, preventing the blood sugar spike that exhausts a senior's pancreas. It keeps you full. Layer 3, volume and micronutrients. This is critical for seniors and often overlooked. Because you are eating once, you cannot afford to be light on vegetables. You need a large, generous portion of leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. Fermented foods, a small serving of sauerkraut or kimchi to replenish your gut microbiome. These foods provide the potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins that seniors are most commonly deficient in. Without them, you will feel fatigued, crampy, and foggy. Not because fasting failed you, but because your micronutrients ran dry. When you build this meal correctly, something surprising happens. You get full faster than you expected. Your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin, finally begin communicating the way they were designed to. You stop eating when your body is genuinely nourished, not when the plate is empty, not out of habit, when you are done. Dr. Leonard Brooks is going to be honest with you now. If you have been eating 3 meals a day for 60 years, you cannot simply skip to 1 meal tomorrow and feel great. Your body needs time to rebuild the metabolic machinery for fat burning. The enzymes need to be manufactured. The liver needs to become efficient at making ketones again. The first week may bring mild headaches, low energy in the morning, some irritability around your old meal times. This is normal. This is not your body rejecting the fast. This is your body withdrawing from dependency. The fix is simple and it works immediately. Electrolytes. When insulin drops, your kidneys release sodium and water. You need to replace it. A small pinch of quality sea salt in a glass of water during your fasting window will stop the headache within minutes. Add a magnesium supplement in the evening. Seniors are almost universally low in magnesium, and it will dramatically improve your sleep and muscle comfort during adaptation. Dr. Leonard Brooks recommends this gentle progression for seniors. Week 1, push your first meal back by 2 hours. Week 2, push it back by 4 hours. Week 3, eat your first meal at noon. Week 4, move to a single, well-constructed meal in the late afternoon or early evening. Do not rush this. Your body has been running one way for decades. Give it the grace of a slow, steady transition. Dr. Leonard Brooks is very clear on this. This protocol is for generally healthy adults over 60. Do not attempt OMAD if you are currently taking insulin or blood sugar medication. Fasting will drop your glucose and your medication dose will need physician adjustment. Are on blood pressure medication, fasting affects fluid balance and blood pressure dosing, have a history of eating disorders, are currently underweight or dealing with significant muscle loss, have kidney disease or are on dialysis, are recovering from surgery or a serious illness. Always consult your physician before beginning any fasting protocol. Dr. Leonard Brooks does not say this as a legal disclaimer. He says it because after 60, your medication list and your metabolic changes are unique to you, and your doctor needs to be part of this conversation. We live in a country that has been told for 50 years that the answer to aging is more medication, more supplements, more frequent meals, more intervention. Dr. Leonard Brooks believes the answer, at its core, is less constant eating, less insulin flooding the system, less interference with the body's own ancient repair mechanisms. Your body was not designed to eat around the clock. It was designed to eat, then rest, to feast, then repair. And after 60, that repair window isn't a luxury. It is a biological necessity. You are not too old for this. You are not too far gone. The machinery is still there. It just needs the chance to run. Give your body 23 hours of quiet and watch what it does with the time. If you are over 60 and you try this, Dr. Leonard Brooks wants to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What hour was hardest? What surprised you most? Your experience might be exactly what someone else in this community needs to hear. See you in the next one.